In a move that sent shockwaves across South Asia and beyond, former U.S. President Donald Trump has broken his silence on the escalating tensions between Pakistan and India. His bold, unexpected remarks have sparked outrage, applause, and deep concern in diplomatic circles worldwide. Tonight we break down what Trump said, why it matters, and how it could change the balance of power in the region forever. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is dominating headlines across the globe. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has once again captured international attention with his shocking remarks on the Pakistan-India conflict. Known for his unpredictable style and blunt delivery, Trump's words have left both nations and the world stunned. In recent weeks, border tensions have intensified, with diplomatic talks faltering and security concerns rising. Amid this backdrop, Trump's statement has reignited global debate about America's role in South Asian affairs. He addressed the issue during a press event in Florida, where he claimed the United States could easily end the decades-long dispute, a comment that instantly set off waves of reaction from Islamabad to New Delhi. In today's detailed report, we'll unpack what Trump really said, analyze the international response, and examine what this could mean for peace, power, and diplomacy in the region. So, stay tuned as we explore this unfolding global storm. At the center of this controversy are Trump's exact words. Speaking at a policy roundtable, Trump declared that the Pakistan-India conflict has gone on too long, and that it was time for a decisive American-led intervention. He went on to describe the situation as dangerous standoff that only strong leadership can fix. While he didn't specify what form that intervention might take, his tone suggested he believed both nations needed external pressure to reach a deal. Trump said, "If I were in the White House today, we would have peace between India and Pakistan within weeks. It's not that hard if you have the right people." The remark instantly triggered political reactions. Indian commentators accused Trump of oversimplifying a decades-old conflict rooted in history, religion, and geopolitics. Pakistani analysts, meanwhile, viewed his words as both hopeful and potentially explosive, a sign that Washington might reassert influence in the region. But the real shock wasn't just what Trump said, it was how he said it. Confident, almost dismissive, as though global diplomacy could be solved by personality alone. India's response was swift and calculated. Within hours, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs issued a brief but firm statement emphasizing that Kashmir and border issues are strictly bilateral matters, and that no third-party mediation is acceptable. Indian media outlets went further, interpreting Trump's words as interference in regional sovereignty. News panels debated whether this was another example of Trump's America First attitude, a worldview where U.S. influence overrides local sensitivities. Prominent Indian politicians called the remarks irresponsible, while others used the opportunity to rally nationalist sentiment, insisting that New Delhi would never allow outside influence over its policies toward Pakistan. Yet, amid the criticism, a small but notable faction of Indian analysts admitted that Trump's comments, though provocative, might pressure both sides to reconsider dialogue. The question many in India are now asking: could Trump's words reignite a peace process that has long been frozen, or would they only deepen divisions? In Pakistan, the response was mixed but emotionally charged. Some government officials viewed Trump's remarks as an acknowledgement that the international community still recognizes Pakistan's sacrifices and security concerns. The idea of an American-led initiative appealed to those who believe that only outside mediation can bring balance to negotiations with India. However, opposition leaders and analysts were more cautious. They pointed out that Trump's track record with foreign diplomacy, especially during his presidency, was marked by unpredictability. Some warned that his comments could raise unrealistic expectations among the public or be used by rivals to push political agendas. Major Pakistani newspapers framed the story as a sign that Washington might once again take interest in South Asian peace, while social media buzzed with speculation about whether Trump's comments hinted at a comeback strategy aimed at regaining global influence. Across the nation, people debated whether Trump's boldness was refreshing or reckless. A reminder that words from powerful figures can reshape perceptions overnight. The international community didn't stay silent. The United Nations, China, and the European Union each responded cautiously, urging restraint and dialogue. China, a close ally of Pakistan and a strategic partner to India, emphasized that any solution must come from mutual respect and peaceful negotiation. Meanwhile, U.S. Diplomats tried to clarify that Trump's comments were his personal opinions and not reflective of official U.S. policy. Nevertheless, the remarks reignited memories of Trump's earlier claim in 2019 that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had requested his mediation on Kashmir, a statement that New Delhi quickly denied. European analysts warned that Trump's rhetoric could inflame nationalist tensions at a delicate time. With both nations already facing domestic political pressure, even verbal provocation could risk new confrontations. What's clear is that Trump's voice still carries enormous global weight, even years after leaving office. His ability to dominate headlines underscores how the world remains sensitive to his every word. To understand the shockwaves from Trump's comments, we need to revisit the history of U.S. involvement in South Asia. Since the Cold War, Washington's policy has swung between strategic partnerships and cautious neutrality. During Trump's presidency, his administration tilted toward India as a counterbalance to China, while relations with Pakistan grew tense over counterterrorism disagreements. Yet, despite the friction, Trump maintained a fascination with the idea of mediating peace. In several interviews, he hinted that he could solve the Kashmir dispute, reflecting his belief in deal-making diplomacy. That legacy now echoes in his latest remarks. For both Pakistan and India, U.S. statements, even unofficial ones, have long shaped perceptions of international legitimacy. Trump's words, therefore, are more than commentary. They carry the weight of history and reflect the enduring American interest in regional stability. This historical lens reveals why his recent comments have drawn such passionate global attention. Beyond politics, Trump's remarks have economic and strategic consequences. South Asia is a key player in global trade routes, defense industries, and energy corridors. Any shift in U.S. tone can influence markets, investment patterns, and security alliances. Analysts suggest that Trump's comments could signal potential U.S. re-engagement in the region, possibly through economic diplomacy or defense cooperation. If tensions escalate, defense spending could rise, benefiting arms industries but straining public budgets. For Washington, renewed attention to South Asia could also serve as a counterweight to China's Belt and Road Initiative, especially projects running through Pakistan. Meanwhile, India might strengthen ties with Western allies to ensure it isn't diplomatically isolated. In essence, Trump's words are more than talk. They could reshape strategic calculations from Islamabad to Washington. The question now, is this a preview of America's future policy direction, or simply Trump's attempt to stay relevant in global affairs? Newsrooms across the world erupted after Trump's statement. American networks analyzed it through the lens of election politics, while Middle Eastern and European outlets debated its impact on global stability. On social media, hashtags like Trump in India, Pakistan, and Trump remarks trended within hours. Supporters praised Trump for speaking boldly on a topic many Western leaders avoid. Critics accused him of reigniting tensions for personal political gain. In South Asia, television debates ran for hours, dissecting every word, gesture, and tone. Interestingly, public reaction revealed deep divides in perception. To some, Trump sounded like a peacemaker, to others a provocateur. Memes, opinion polls, and editorials turned his short speech into a global talking point. The incident once again proved how a single statement from a former U.S. president can dominate the international conversation, highlighting the power of rhetoric in an interconnected world. The key question now is whether Trump's remarks will have real policy consequences. While current U.S. officials have downplayed them, Washington insiders acknowledge that his influence over Republican foreign policy thinking remains significant. If Trump returns to the political stage, especially in another presidential run, his approach to Pakistan and India could redefine regional diplomacy. Analysts warn that his deal-making style may prioritize quick results over long-term stability. However, some experts argue that even without formal power, Trump's public statements can nudge debates, embolden certain groups, or pressure policymakers to respond. Whether or not his comments lead to action, one thing is certain: Trump has once again placed South Asia at the center of global political discourse, reminding the world that his voice still shapes the headlines of international affairs. As the dust settles, Trump's remarks reveal something larger about global politics: the enduring role of personality in shaping perception. In an era defined by careful diplomacy, Trump's bluntness disrupts traditional boundaries. For Pakistan and India, his words have reopened difficult questions about sovereignty, mediation, and trust. For the world, they serve as a reminder that the South Asian conflict is not isolated. It's part of a broader struggle for influence, identity, and peace. Whether Trump intended it or not, he has forced the world to look again at a region often overshadowed by other crises. His statement may fade from headlines, but the debate it sparked will continue to echo through diplomatic corridors for months to come.